Freya, I've always wondered, why was Freyr so revered here so quickly upon his first arrival?
Well, to begin with, it wasn't his first arrival. Very few know this, but Freyr was one of the earliest visitors to Alfheim, back in the dawn of realm travel.
Oh, a bit before my time. You tell.
We believed for a long time that all the giants had died in the flood, until one of them appeared in Vanaheim.
Enough talk for now.
Hold that thought. I think it's about to get violent.
Enemies on the left!
Good hit, brother!
On your guard, Kratos! The Alpha!
Hertha! That's what she was called. I'm trying to remember which god raised her dander up.
It does not matter.
Doesn't it?
If rage is all that remains, her reasons are irrelevant.
Freya, do you mind picking up that story about your brother? I think you said a giant had appeared in Vanaheim.
That's right. Her name was Brrr, and she came offering to teach us the secrets of traveling between realms using Bifrost light. Freyr became immediately infatuated with her. He always yearned to wander, and along came someone who could truly show him how. So, wander they did, exploring the world tree from root to branch. But one day, it came time for Brrr to wander away. Freyr was heartbroken, and resolved himself to perform some great feat to win her back. He set his aim on the grandest of gestures. He intended to be the first to find the elusive source of Bifrost light.
Another time. We must focus.
Careful, brother! It's covered in Bifrost!
The Alpha!
Stinky hell! Seems for every camp we destroy, we find 2 more.
It's almost impressive.
A vengeful berserker gravestone.
Come under the cruel, dagger the cold and bitter and prideful.
Behind you!
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass.
Incoming right side! Come on, Kratos! Off your back! Suffer more!
Come under the cruel, dagger the cold and bitter the prideful.
Ugh!
of the cold and bitter of prideful.
Stay close, that sword doesn't belong to you!
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass! Brother, get up! Brother! Freya, returning to the story of your brother, you said he made it his mission to find the source of Bifrost's light.
He did indeed.
Wait. Let us look this way.
Much of the sand has been cleared away, but another storm rages beyond that pass, which must mean...
Another half-goofer.
Meki. I remember when Freya and I traveled to this realm as children. The desert was healthy and full of life back then. I can't help but fear that era has ended for good and our efforts here are futile.
It's a fair concern. Feeling this land will take more than a pair of singing half-goofer. But I have to believe in the long run, we're doing right by Alpine. Well, best we start looking for a way underground.
Keep a lookout for a cave! The other Hofgufa must be under there! Fared in his absence, did he? He would appreciate our efforts out here.
Aye. Hearing the Song of the Sands again is a rare privilege, even if it's only a solo act.
Or a duet, once this Hofgufa is free. This architecture. It is not of the Dark Elves.
An abandoned ancient settlement, by the looks of it. Built long before the Lightwell's creation.
More hive matter as well.
I'd say we're on the right track then.
This kind of hive material is sensitive to sound. How odd. When I last came here with you and Atreus, I assumed the absence of Alpine's light was an aberration. I didn't realize it was covered by hive matter.
Aye. And as far as the Dark Elves are concerned, it's that light column in the center of the temple that's the aberration. Just look at how old some of these surfaces are. Far older than the Lightwell, or even our trapped Halfgiffer for that matter.
That's quite the empathetic perspective, Mimir.
Well, dangle from a burly god's backside for a few winters, and you'll find yourself looking for all sorts of new perspectives.
Enemies to your left!
Light elves don't often travel underneath the barrens, do they?
Territory changes hands often in Alfheim. Or so it appears.
Big Veer did mention that these ruins have historical significance for the Light Elves. I assume they're only here to keep intruders out.
Well, at least they tried.
Good eye. Let's continue, shall we?
Poison! Left side!
Big ball of light coming your way!
I hope freeing these Hofgufas will allow them to breed again. It was a dazzling display once. The skies of Alfheim filled with their song.
I imagine it's the lack of fresh light that's caused this pair to grow abnormally large. No use in having babies if there's nothing for them to feed on.
Trying to protect their children from a harsh world. I can relate. I wonder if these two comprehend the choice of this fate.
What choice do you speak of?
The life cycle of the Hofgufa. In order to breed, they must pass on their light to their children.
And without light, they will die.
I suppose that's all any of us can hope for in the end. That our death has purpose. That we can live on through our children. But given another chance, I know which one. Well done. Time to set it loose.
Aye. Back to the surface then.
The Alpha!
Watch your back!
Left side! Incoming!
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass!
From behind! Incoming!
The fight.
Used in many of Freyr's blessings, I imagine.
The fate of these creatures reminds me of a story.
Does it?
There once was a blacksmith whose king commanded him to construct a box that could contain all the evils of the world. But no metal could hold such a power. So the blacksmith used the flame of...
Kratos, is this a story meant to ease my grief?
Perhaps it is just a story. A way to pass the time.
I appreciate the sentiment, but... well, your stories...
What about my stories?
I wouldn't exactly call them comfort.
Fair. Mimir is the better storyteller.
Now don't sell yourself short, brother. You've come a long way from the days of laconic fables.
It's okay. Finish your story, Kratos.
The blacksmith's daughter was the key to unlocking the box. He died trying to protect her from...
Well, at least it's a relatable story.
It appears we've overstayed our welcome in Alpine.
Time to end this storm.
If my stories are of no comfort, take solace in knowing you did what you thought was best for your son's safety. Even these creatures know. There is little choice for a parent. You are not alone.
I'm not, am I? And now neither are they. Incredible.
The Song of the Sands. Well, didn't know I could get misty. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Kratos. This land sings once more. We've done good here.
No rush to leave yet, is there? Who knows what kind of adventures await us in a freshly lit Barrens?
A monument to Freya. I wonder if he ever saw this.
This statue may have survived Freya's absence, but a truce clearly did not. Monuments are useless to those who ignore their message.
He didn't create a kingdom through diplomacy alone. His godhood, his very presence healed this land and allowed peace to take root. But once he left, he had to have known what would happen.
Well, he had good reason to leave. Some jackass convinced his sister to marry a madman.
Yeah. First.
You said monuments are useless. Why restore this one?
It was hidden for some time. Perhaps now it can serve as a reminder.
Aye. Nothing reminds people of their history like chiseled, well-lit marble.
These crystals contain their own light.
You're right. Normally we'd have to provide our own. Perhaps slotting a crystal on the opposite side could shed some light on this mystery.
That did something. Down there, the ring of crystal shards glow.
Looks like we can read the inscription now as well.
Light from the crystals. It is in the sand now.
Would you look at that? Freyr's gift endures after all. Or should I say, his presence?
You are not funny.
Freyr was actually here, the peace was fragile. Surely a bit of extra light in the desert isn't enough to make it last.
Before I met Faye, I could not imagine a life of peace. After her death, in our travels to Jotunheim, I found peace on my own. It remains my responsibility to make it last.
I only hope his guidance will last this time.
We will see. But he has given them a chance.
Another key, eh? Sooner or later, we're gonna have to find a lock to put them in.
A light elf statue in the desert. Odd.
On top of ancient elven ruins? I'd have to agree.
Throw your weapon at it! Watch your left!
Light elf architecture. It's massive.
Got behind Drake.
Something is coming, and it's not happening.
Yelpa! A Drake! Out of the way! Charging! Careful! Watch out for the scales! Yelpa!
What on earth was a drake doing back there?
Your guess is as good as mine. Imprisoning a drake. Can't decide whether to be impressed or horrified.
Either way, it is over now. A token.
A badge of honor. The elves made a few of these. They'd hang them up outside their dwellings. As their support for their brother.
Yelpa!
Perhaps we can bring these two animals back to Vanaheim, or Midgard even. Becky and Svanna could use the company. We have kennels.
It would not go well for them. Once a predator becomes accustomed to a land, it is cruel to move them.
I suppose you're right. It just seems lonely out here.
It is peaceful. They have each other. It is enough.
An elven library.
An archive of knowledge.
No sign of the Light Elves.
For now.
Maybe they've left for the day, and we can browse at our leisure. That's the last of the missing schematics. I suspect you've got some new sword hilts in your future.
These texts alone are not enough to end the Elven War. But restricting their access only serves those who wish to prolong it.
Taking a page out of Odin's book.
Aye. Quite the advantage for the Light Elves.
This book is sealed, but there is an inscription. The console.
Big Veer spoke of an exile of the same name. Odds are he'd like a gander at that particular text.
Swathbar.
Ah, it appears the librarian would like a word.
Lata Framborg.
Sounds like she wants that journal back.
No.
They're healing! Leosalfa. Thought. Megivita. How Gabrautina.
She thinks she's protecting them by hiding all this knowledge away.
The elves do not need protection from their history. They need access. A new chapter awaits.
I'm impressed. Thought you were going to end her.
When last we traveled here, after Faye passed, I killed an elf of great importance. The ramifications were dire for him. Same mistake twice.
Freya, returning to the story of your brother, you said he made it his mission to find the source of Bifrost's light.
He did indeed. And he succeeded, although quite by accident. Freyr believed he navigated best while fortified by a potent blend of Vanir herbs.
We'll
When he
just
wa-
pick this up later.
Feels half crazy to say it, but I got a good feeling about that Thrud girl. Never minding what family she came from.
I quite agree. She's an impressive young woman.
I thought you might. Why, I ain't never seen anyone quite so awestruck as when she laid eyes on you back at the hole. Like meeting her idol.
She was apparently quite eager to learn from all the Valkyries. Now that she has Mjolnir, I expect her next stop will be to begin training with Sigrun.
I think Brock and Sindri would be happy knowing that hammer's finally with someone worthy to wield it. And a future Valkyrie, no less. They're gonna die cold and dismembered. Now those are some angry knives.
Can this lock be opened without damaging the book? The elves in Freya's camp wish to read it.
Now, why would anyone go and lock a book? Seems silly as me. I'm sure I can crack it open for you and get it over to Biggs and Bay.
What is this?
Ravens. The ones we've been destroying. Odin's little spies.
Free are we, free of the Father. Our half-lives now belong to no other.
The Father. Odin, I presume?
I don't know, but there's definitely something more going on here.
A gift of life, a gift in death, to smother forever the All-Father's breath.
Odin must have created these creatures. But how?
I haven't the foggiest. They came after my time with him. But perhaps we should continue to destroy any of Odin's ravens we find.
In life we hanged, in death we kneeled, until you freed us with your steel.
So destroying the ravens free their spirits somehow. Good to know.
Free.
Well, free of Odin's control anyway.
We told what we saw, empowered his lies. Good little ravens, good little spies.
Aha! Another fallen piece of Asgard. Something seems a bit different about this one.
Different?
Dunno. I've just a funny feeling. Hang on a minute. Is this a prison?
It would seem so.
Let's continue. Might be something useful inside.
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Behind you! Incoming!
The Einherjar survived Ragnarok. Perhaps some of the inmates did as well.
Let us find out.
Incoming! Left side!
Oh, I felt that one, brother. Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Odin hid something here. I know it. We should find a way to the cell on the other side.
Don't let him complete his spell!
Nicely done.
A gardener, perhaps? Dreamshade is difficult to keep alive, even under the best conditions, but this... He gave all his strength to keep it alive.
Then it is right. You should have it.